What's up, family? It's another one from the Central, man. We good?
For sure.
Get the viewers, provide the viewers. What's up, guys? It's your boy Quan. I'm back with another Fuel by Pain podcast. What's up, guys? It's your boy Quan. I'm back with another Fuel by Pain podcast, baby. Today, I have an amazing co-host. I will let him introduce himself as always, and then we will get started with the podcast.
My name is Aunquarius Brown-Reed. I'm from Albany, Georgia. I do a lot of leadership, community building, and I'm an organizer in the community as well. Artist, author, so many accolades, so many things that align with that. So I have my hands in a lot of pots, basically. I do it all, basically.
Hey, man, that's big, especially for a black man, young man, you hear me?
Definitely.
Before the achievements and titles, who were you growing up in Albany, and what experiences shaped you into the man you are today?
So it's funny that you brought that question up. I'm actually working on a book called A Tale from the Shadows. It'll be out in January. And it's kind of correlating with my life, but taking the stories of other young men who I grew up with in East Albany. And so in this book, you will see that I was the boy in the book who was in the shadows, who was overlooked, who was basically already said you're going to be in jail when in third grade.
Third grade is insane.
Yeah. So a lot of statistics placed on me because of the area that I grew up in. Very poverty stricken, a lot of crime, saw guns, almost got recruited to several gangs. But luckily I had individuals to steer me in the right direction.
I was just going to ask you, what kept you away from that?
Yeah, so my grandmother, she's really a truly testament in my life. She raised me from 2 months old. Both of my parents were drug addicted. She took me in, her and my two aunts, and they raised me up. I know a story where my aunts told me that they had to come get me out of a crack house in Albany. My mom was laying up in bed, high, had me pushed in the corner. But those three individuals are truly the roots of my life. And without them, I wouldn't even be talking to you today. I'll probably be in the foster care system right now. So yeah.
Hearing stories like that, how does that shape your mentality around parenthood and guidance and what that should look like and how you didn't receive that?
I can say this. When I was a teenager, you just like, why this has happened? So my dad, he got clean. He moved out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And yeah, he got married, raised my stepbrother. Then my sister came along the way in the midst of that. And so something that I always felt on his side, because I know my mom, she was just out there still somewhere doing drugs. But for him to get clean and everything, I'm like, dang, I'm right here in Albany and you're not even coming to get me. But on the flip side, it's a blessing in it as well, because you don't know what others are going through in their home.
Also, you don't know what you came into.
Right.
He came and got you.
Right. Exactly. So I'm thankful to have been raised by my grandmother, who is luckily still alive to this day.
Man, God is good, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. My next question. What is one childhood wound that still affects you as an adult that you don't talk about often?
I talk about a lot of things. I'm very open, as you see from my social media and just hearing me tell my story. I can say I really don't, but I can point out two things. For one, I didn't have a real birthday party till like I was about 24 years old.
Wow.
And secondly, the situations that happened with me in third grade, where most of the bullying began to stem from having a teacher verbally call me names and different things of that nature. And then in this particular school, I could just talk about this school.
What school was it?
I won't call the
You know
name.
what? Don't do that. We live in Albany. They got a lot of school pride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They know what school I'm talking about if they were to watch this interview. However, people always say it's the school. No, it's the people within that school. And so in this school, you had adults who would just look it's already a poverty-stricken area. So the school was the only limelight of hope for these kids, and you didn't have that openness or embrace, into this school. And so many times where kids being looked down upon, you don't know what they're going through at home. And the reason why they're acting out is because of situations that's going on at home. But for me, I was a kid. I just talked a lot like I do now. And for me, for all those things that happened to me, having like even the teacher's mom, like who worked at the school, came in my face, like saying you lying on my son during the class period. Like that's traumatic. That's traumatic in my mind. And I never told my grandmother or aunts any of this until after the fact, like years down the line. Like, yeah, she came in my face, like before we went into the next meeting that we were having about him in general. But thankfully, I'm happy I'm in a place in my life where I've come to forgiveness. Because if you don't, it would latch onto you and you won't be able to go anywhere. Because if you hold on to that, God ain't gonna be able to put you nowhere. You're gonna be stuck in bitterness, stagnant.
Bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna be in stuck water, still water, without any movement, stagnant, man. It's real. That's so powerful for you to be able to walk through that and still come out on the other side, bro.
Because I've thought of suicide so many times, even in elementary school.
Bro, you have no, I don't tell nobody this. I don't think I ever said this on the podcast, but when I was younger, it's crazy. I never thought I would make it to 18. Ever. When my 18th birthday, it's crazy. I think I might have been trying to be hard and being a man, but I literally think I like shed tears, broke down just thinking about that. Because things were just so hard. As a young man, you never imagine that life, especially making it out. Like you see it, you believe, you watch it, you see that it's possible, but you don't know that it's possible for you.
Yeah, that's why I say if little Aunquarius, or as my family called me, Lil Quiz, saw me now, he wouldn't believe it. Because it was so many days where I just and I never came to my grandmother, told her anything about this or anything, but it's just literally some of those days thought about just going in the kitchen, grabbing a knife, doing the do of that. But yeah, it's a blessing for both of us to still be here and show that our pain turned into purpose.
God put us, bro. I'm telling you, God put me on that trip on purpose. I wasn't even supposed to go.
Wow.
I wasn't even supposed to go. I slid my way on that trip, bro.
Wow.
Literally, it's crazy. God works in mysterious ways.
He
man.
does.
What's something that you wish the younger version of wish? Wait, hold on. What's something you wish the younger version of you had received? Had heard or received?
I would say intentionality, attention in fullness. I was one of those kids that was quiet. I didn't tell my family anything until years later or the last minute, because in my mind, I'm so kind-hearted. I'm thinking about the person that may be emotionally abusing me, how they may feel, and then I'm thinking about the outcome of family. But in essence, it doesn't even matter.
You trying to care for everybody?
Yeah, I'm trying to care for everybody, and I'm not. That's pressure on me because I'm trying to be the super Mr. Nice, cool, keep it cool with everybody, because I don't want to be looked down upon, or I just want to be fitting in with everybody, but I wasn't in a place to be made to fit into. And I wish that I could have been even more open and vocal, even about when I was molested in the 4th and 5th grade by an older cousin who was in the 12th grade. So
sorry you went through that, man.
So yeah, they don't necessarily come to a lot of family functions anymore. However, when they did, they always used to avoid me or whatever. I never got a chance to even to this day have a conversation with this individual. They're off. They're married now. I think they have about 1 or 2 kids, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
Does those thoughts still bother you?
Not necessarily. And I wouldn't even say not necessarily. Luckily I still have a therapist I go to just talk through these things. Mental health is so key. I don't care how good you're feeling, you need that person you can go to and talk to about these different issues. So it's a work in progress. Some days I have my highs with it, some days I have my lows. I can say when I see stories about adults intermingling with youth in general, it triggers me. It makes me mad. Like I'm just, man, you have all these other people your age, but what do you see in a child? You're trying to take away their innocence. And not trying to get in the political tone, but you see what's going on now with all this stuff coming out. And it's just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
This stuff been going on.
It's been going on. It's been going on.
Everybody.
Yep.
Everybody knew, but now
nobody said nothing.
You know who really changing the game. You really know who really making people think. Nobody want to give us our credit, but it's us. It's our generation.
Yep.
It's our generation's probably the one right above us and right below. They can't stand us because we're willing to make the change. And that's why the fact that you even said mental health is real. That's why we're here. That's why we're on this platform right now to show somebody out there.
Prior generations, they don't like to address different things. Like I try to bring different things up within my family, try to just handle let's work through these situations. But
it shows even in simple arguments you can't even communicate. I can't even tell you to put your dish
sit in the same presence as you.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
That ain't how I want to live, man. We on that journey of healing.
Yep.
And you ain't gonna be a part of it.
Yep.
What version of yourself did you have to let go of so you can grow into who you are now?
The imposter. I can say now that I am, and that's something that you're going to see in my book now, it's going to be parallel universes where, I don't know if you ever seen a show where it shows like the childhood, then go back to adult, then show the childhood, what they're going through. That's how it's going to be. And so feeling like I don't belong where I am now. And I had to get over that hurdle by realizing, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't favored enough to be in the position I am now, or I didn't have the accolades or things of that nature. And I still have to stop myself sometimes because that can negatively affect you by derailing you for what God has for you down the line. And you have to be very mindful of that. And I can say, even with jobs positions, when I graduated from Albany State, I began to do some, I began to do some, my own little reporting on the side. And I got accepted to a job at WTOC 11 News in Savannah as a reporter. But I was so comfortable and felt like I wasn't worthy enough of it because, you just a boy from the projects. Who are you to be thinking that you could do something like this? Or even in the place where I am now in my life, I really stopped that imposter syndrome from coming along. Like right now, like who are you to be going out, traveling, doing different things?
Yeah.
Being a leader in Albany, being from Albany as a leader and going places where they don't even believe I'm from Albany.
You feel me?
They don't like, you're from there? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, no, you can't be from Albany. But I was like, born and raised. So just putting a stop to him and letting him know, my inner child, that it's okay. You're where you're supposed to be, because if you weren't, God wouldn't align all the things that you have went through in your life to be here today.
So powerful, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. I know I always say it, but every single podcast, man, God is in control.
Yeah.
Can't rush it, man.
You can't.
Your weight loss journey is powerful. What emotional weight were you really shedding during that time?
So I had a breakdown June 1st, 2020. Whose birthday?
My granny.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. June 1st, 2025. And I was in my room and I was scrolling across a video and I was in tears. I was crying. I was drinking at home.
You were solo?
I was solo by myself.
Red flags.
Yeah. And I came across this video with Viola Davis, and I'm going to get to, everything, what I let go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a video where she was saying, you're worth it. You're worth it. No matter what nobody say, no matter what nobody do. I'll see the video. So you probably can enable it into this video.
Most definitely.
But I began to really say those words in my mind and put down the bottle and just begin to break down and cry. Things that I've held pent up for so many years, from the sexual assault to other things that happened in my childhood that I had been holding on to. At the time, I'm a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a certified life coach. I'm going to say that again. I'm a certified life coach. And so I really had to take a big step back, because I'm living a lie. I'm living a lie. I'm putting on a show for these people, like I'm in a circus. And when I'm getting behind closed doors or the curtains are closed, crumbling. I'm crying.
Boy, you know
I'm
something.
Screaming. I am not the Aunquarius I portrayed to the world.
At all.
And I had to send a letter to my clientele, let them know, gave them their refunds, for the month. And I just went from there, from child molestation to childhood mishappenings to just holding in things that people have said to me. I remember in 4th grade when I was having difficulties in mathematics, the guy, he was one of the coaches at the school. He was like, you need to be in the ESP class because you slow or whatever. And people don't realize little things that you say to youth affect them in their adulthood. You have to be mindful. That's why you have to be mindful who you parents. You all have to be mindful. I'm talking to y'all who your children are around or who is mentoring them, because you don't know what these folks are telling them in the air, and you're wondering why they're acting like that or why they're being quiet like I was. They just said, oh, that's just quiz, but you didn't know what I was going through.
I'm traumatized. And
so when it hit the fan about everything, my family, I told the only 3 people that know who it is, who did it, is my 3 aunts and my grandmother. So I called my aunt to come over, and then my other aunt, she was already there. And I was like, I got something to tell y'all, and I told them about it. So of course they were upset, but that really hurt. That really broke my grandmother, because she was saying, you could have told me. I'm just I didn't want to hurt no one, because he was threatening me, I'll do something to your grandmother, even though that's your family, and you're threatening, those threats were replaying in my brain. I can even say too, when I was in the 11th grade, I really didn't come to a place of realization what happened to me until we was at Albany High. We was going through some kind of sexual assault class, and they were telling what it was. I had ran out the class crying because of it, and I was going through a lot of depression that year too as well. That's why when I was in programs like the Boys and Girls Club of Albany, I wasn't really, as a youth of the year, putting myself out there like I was. But I was put on a show so much that people didn't even realize that this same boy that's speaking on stage to about 1,000 people about his story is going through something right now mentally. Right now.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
What today's date is? November 17th. 3:39 p.m. right now.
Right
it's
now.
Okay though.
Yeah.
That next question. What was the breaking point where you said, I can't live like this anymore?
That was the breaking point, and including with my health as well, because I remember I was beginning to get chest pains, and I began to get in a place. And first and foremost, I'm a Southern boy. I'm like biscuits and all of that stuff. I grew up grandmother, so you already know. But I began to get chest pains, and I began to get in a state of eating a lot, especially during COVID. You know, you don't got nothing to do anyways. Yeah. And I go back and look at some of my photos. I'm like, oh my God. I let myself
Face
go.
was puffy. You see it when you start looking at them pictures.
Yes, I'm just like, what? So that was tied in with emotional trauma that had been pent up inside of me for years. And that was another reason why the chest pains, the being pre-diabetic at 21 years old. So I really had to make some changes for my life, not only physically, but mentally as well.
Most definitely.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. And it shows you that, you know, I feel like the younger us we hear diabetes and say, oh, it can't happen to us. Or we hear depression or anxiety or suicide attempts and stuff like that.
And we got to break this stigma in the Black community, because going to depress them dishes is not doing it, you know. You cannot beat depression by a mother saying, or a father, or a grandmother, or an older cousin, you don't got no depression. Go in there and wash some dishes. No.
It's much bigger than that, boy.
No.
It's much bigger than going to that room. Sometimes,
because you don't know what they're going to do in that room.
Like, literally, it's sometimes much bigger than going on a walk.
Yeah.
Sometimes a walk just don't do it. Sometimes the raised room just don't do it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, better get out here and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Has there been a moment where the world needed you, but you had nothing left? How did you push through?
Where the world needed me and I had nothing left. That's been a lot of moments where the world needed me and I had nothing left. And I always go back to my grandmother. She's my number one champion to this day.
Shout out, man. Shout out, man.
Shout out to Grandma Sally. You know, she's been there. Like, you know, of course, older folks, they have their ways. You know, they get stubborn. You know, whatever. But I love her. Like, that is my mama, and without her, I wouldn't even be where I am today. Her even protecting me. I'm wondering why I can't go outside and play with my friends.
She know better.
She knew.
Trying to tell you.
And like now, I didn't even tell her until recently or these upcoming years that I was approached by several gangs just walking from her house to an aunt's house in the neighborhood. They're trying to get me to join the gang. Now. And seeing the AK-40s and all of that.
47s.
And yeah, 47s. And seeing all of that go on in the neighborhood, and the kids, they just thought I was just in the house and my grandmother didn't let me go anywhere. Not knowing that she put me in programs like the Boys and Girls Club of Albany, or like the Alpha Mentoring program that I was a part of when I was younger. And those programs really steered me into, I see you over there smiling. Steered me.
I tried to keep it in.
Yeah, steered me into the right direction to where
I tried to keep it in, bro. I really did.
Where I am. So shout out to y'all big time, especially on the late Dr. Colbert. He really made an impact on my life. He did things for me and my grandmother that nobody know about to this day when we were struggling financially. And he never looked for like, shout me out because I did this. It all was just a good genuine. And he always talk to me, you know. I always say, I'm proud of you, Aunquarius. Pull me to the side. I need to talk to you, Aunquarius, about this, you know. So yeah, my grandmother and programs like that really helped me become who I am today.
That's real. Hey man, shouts out to the brothers of 06, man.
Yeah.
Real, man. Doing things in the world for
Definitely.
real. You advocate for your community. Who advocated for you during your hardest season? Well, you actually already said your grandmother. So I actually moved to the next part. What part of your inner child still needs protection today?
Some deep questions, my guy. I just say all parts of him needs protection, because I think about my younger inner child. He went through so much.
Do you feel like he's still vulnerable?
Yes, he's very vulnerable. And I feel like I have to fight to protect him.
How does that play out in your everyday life?
I can say that I'm a very sensitive individual. However, I'm not to a point where I was before, where I just let anything get to me. But
Mhm.
my friends know, like, I'm sensitive. I like to move in this way or whatever. It doesn't mean that, oh, you this and that or whatever. None of that matters. It's just the spectrum of how you treat people. I treat people how, you want to treat people how you want to be treated.
Trying to tell you,
And that's how I do. And I expect that, like a
in
two-way
return.
street. It's not one way, two ways. And just reciprocate those same qualities that I give out. I expect that out of people. And my problem is my expectations is so high of people, and when they disappoint me, it just get so sad. So many people have disappointed me
Bruh,
along
you
the
have
line.
no idea. And I feel like a lot of times relationships in my life actually end, and I feel like a lot of times people don't understand that if I overly explain, I've dealt with this in the past, and you might not touch on it directly, but when you teeter-totter around it and then act like nothing is wrong, of course I'm going to act out in a certain manner.
Yeah.
And when I do, you can't, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, but then I just gotta lose. I just gotta lose you, because that means you didn't understand me from in the first place. So I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. Like, we need more conversations, because I promise you, everything that
we could do some kind of series or something
I'm
like
down,
that,
bro. I'm definitely down, bro.
Definitely.
Like, seriously, what's a mental health lesson you had to learn the hard way?
Mental health lesson I had to learn the hard way was to. I love saying this. So a lot of people think I have heavy boundaries now.
Oh, it's crazy.
And
talk about that. Yeah.
Being selfful. A lot of so people like, you to yourself, you just being so selfish, you don't care. No, being selfful. When you look at a biblical context, and I go back to something Anna Van Zet, her and Oprah was talking about, and I love that analogy, where in the Bible it said, "My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercies shall follow me all the days of my life." However, if you're pouring so much out of your cup, who is pouring back into you? Who is like trying to guide you and help you? And most of the time, for a person like me, is nobody but my grandmother and maybe a couple of friends here and there. But everybody have their busy lives, going on. And I respect that to the fullest. But you have to be able to take out time for yourself. The work that I do, even outside of nonprofit organizing, advocating, digital marketing, public speaking, life coaching, I have to set a time out for myself where it's just completely no. I used to be afraid to say no to people.
Me too.
I really did.
Me too, bro.
But now
it got me in so
I
much
am
trouble.
so onto.
I still ain't there yet.
Saying no, like you gotta get there, because that helps protect your mind and your mental health,
your space, bro.
Yes.
I literally had a situation yesterday where my sister, boy, she pissed me off bad, and it was so quick. But and instead of arguing with her, I just shut down, bro. I just quiet, and I just walked out the house. And my mom was trying to get me to come back in the house and eat, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't come back in there right now. That's not a space that I can afford to be in right now. And it was just them not taking the time out to understand. You don't even know where I'm at right now mentally.
Yeah, the black us as black people, and I could say the full spectrum. It's just like going back our generation, Gen Z. We are so ahead with this mental health thing. Like, we'll say no to a job quick. We'll quit a job quick, get a new one quick. We're going to do it for us. And that's what a lot of previous generations don't understand, because, like, even with my grandmother, from her family and things of that nature, just push things under the rug. That's for her story to tell. But from what I've heard, like, just pushing stuff under the rug, and you can't. What is just gonna keep building up till you not even address it anymore? You can't live like that. And I think that's where our generation comes in, and we've realized that. And we're like, we're not going to be like them.
Yeah.
We're not going to be faking it till you make it with no family and getting, it's almost Thanksgiving and, oh, how you doing?
Nah, I'm good.
We go like, we need to have a talk before we get to how you doing? Give me a hug. We're not going to be doing all that. And it always comes to a place of maturity as well that a lot of even adults older than us do not have at all.
Respect. And I mean, not even respect. I feel like people only associate respect with not calling you out your name or age or just, no, respect is so much more than that. If I respect you as a friend, I'm not going to say these certain things or perform these certain actions because I know they make you feel a certain type of way. Yeah. And when you start to feel some type of way, I'm not going to belittle you or make you feel insecure about why you felt some type of way. Yeah. If I'm really your homeboy, really your friend, really your brother, I'm going to be able to comfort you. I'm going to tell you about yourself, but you feel me? You good. Yeah. That's what it's about.
And that comes with that. Now that's like the sensitive side of me.
You feel me?
Because tell me in a way, but don't try to tell me in a way to demonize me and my feelings.
Bro? And people don't understand. And I feel like I'm also a very sensitive man as well. Me being sensitive, like people don't understand. A lot of times it really, really is the way you say it. And me being also an overthinker, and it plays a role in my relationships as well because I'm somebody who picks up on certain actions, certain emotions. So baby, I can pick up how your voice change if it needs. You feel me? Like, but I pay attention to those things because of how much I missed out on them in my childhood. Yes. So I have to pay. Like when we grew up, we didn't talk at the dinner table. Yeah. I talk about that. We didn't talk. My mom didn't. We did not talk at the dinner table. I don't know because my mom needed time for herself, but I never really understood that. But it was time to eat, and we just ate. But I feel like it was those moments that we missed out on communicating with my little brother, my little sister, them knowing like right now, I can say we probably aren't the closest in the world. Yeah. And I feel like it's moments like that really could have shaped us and helped us grow a better foundation with each other. Yeah. So we, us as Black families miss out on a lot of things. And we keep saying Black families like it don't exist in other ethnicities and communities, but it does. But we see it because we live it. You feel me?
In our community.
Yeah, and we can only speak something we see.
Saying like, oh, I go to a therapist. Oh, you go to the crazy doctor? What? Yeah. The crazy doctor? You must be crazy. No, that does not mean that. That means I got somebody to talk to. Absolutely. God provided people with all the things that he needed for us down here. That's what we need. So, but yeah.
Hey man, it is real. As an author and a storyteller, what story has been the hardest for you to tell and why?
The hardest story for me to tell as an author, as a storyteller, it goes into so many routes. Sexual assault leads to so many things, so many hurdles as a individual you have to go through on a mental landscape. And it's mental battles, processing. How do you feel this way? How do you feel that way? What are you? What am I? Just trying to find your place because having your innocence taken away at a young age does something to you mentally. It either makes you a hypersexual individual or just an individual that's just out here going with the flow or whatever, And so that has been pretty hard for me, especially like in a landscape like Albany itself and being from the hood and being Black. We already have so many
different
hurdles to jump over. And that's another one to add on to. Yeah, that's what I can say with that in general. And I can also say too, like with my mom, I have been talking to her within over 1.5 years now. It's not that I don't want to talk to her. It's just the fact that she doesn't keep her same number. Like I'll never forget the moment in 2019 when I hosted my first event for a nonprofit I created called Uplift. And I was actually walking downtown. I was like pretty heavy set, but I didn't even notice her. But when I met her for the first time in 2020, since I was about in kindergarten, my grandmother had a hard talk with her. She came in the house. I can go jump there real quick. I'm jumping all over the place, but
No, you good.
you know, when I was in kindergarten, first grade, my mom came by the house, came in, hey, I'm your mama quiz. So I'm down. I remember vividly, I'm down on the floor playing with my big, you know, the yellow Tonka trucks they used to have. And I look up, I'm like, okay. I start back playing.
Yeah.
But my grandmother told her, if you want to be in his life, you need to give that up, what you're doing, because you cannot keep running in and out. That's going to mess up his mental. And so when I met her in 2020, me and my sister went over there because I didn't know none of my sisters and brothers in Albany, by the way, as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how small Albany is. And I always used to hear, oh, so-and-so look like you. I'm like, look like me. And so my grandmother didn't tell me the full concept of my story until I was about 9. It was a situation that came up in school where I used to just lie to my teachers and tell them that my parents were in the military, you know, because I began to look at other people with moms and dads, things of that nature. And I'm like, you know, oh, it is something different here. Like my cousin Caitlin, she asked my grandmother one time when we were younger, when is Qued's mom coming? And said, when is your mom coming? And I'm like, I don't know.
People don't realize that should be hurting like a mother.
Like I'm like it, like at the moment it didn't hurt because it was like I'm 8, 7, but when I got to Spaces Alone, that's when I began to think about it. That's when it began to hurt. Like, dang, because she got her mom and dad. My cousin got his mama and his daddy, and everybody got their mom and daddy. And I'm raised by my grandmother, you know. But I never thought about it until then.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. I was thinking about it right there. I was sad as hell. Talking about teacher I've been there.
Yeah.
Baseball games, football games, waiting on somebody to walk through the door. You feel me? I can't even, but then again, from the outside looking in, I was young back then. Yeah. Of course I was mad at my mom. Of course I was angry that people wasn't showing up. But now, how I look at it now, I realize that my mom was only doing the best she could, bro. I didn't know, you know, because my mom tired because she working 2 jobs, you know. Yeah. So when she get home, she doesn't have the energy to come to my game. She doesn't have the time to come to the parent teacher meeting. She doesn't have the time to come to bring your, what is that? When you bring your job, your parent comes to your school to talk about the job. What day is that? What is it called?
Bring your
what is it called?
School day?
Yeah, okay.
Kind of like bring your pet. Well, I wouldn't call it something like that.
I didn't even know what to call it. My fault.
It's
I
to
was
show
messing
off
that up.
what your parents do in that work.
But it's things like that. Can't even do that. My mom at work. She ain't getting off. It's days like, what? I don't even want to get into all that. But yeah, man, just know I understand, bro.
Yeah.
I understand wholeheartedly where you coming from, bro. I'm here with you. In your own words, what does fueled by pain mean inside your personal story?
Something that I spoke on earlier, turning your pain into purpose. My grandmother, she has an analogy that she gave me in the 3rd grade. And I actually told one of my good friends recently, I told him about it. And basically, we are all seeds in the ground. This was in 3rd grade, and I was going through a lot of bullying. I had a turnaround moment when I got to Doherty High School. Not Doherty High, but Doherty Middle. But we are all seeds in the ground. You need the dirt. You need the sun. You need the hard, thunderous rains and showers. Think of that as all the negativity, the hate, people stumping it down in the ground. Those people hating on you, calling you names that you're not, and just looking down upon you, not realizing in essence they are helping you. Because after all the rain, the dirt, the storms, as the years go by, you just grow and grow and grow. And whatever fruit, I could just use an apple tree, for example. They're going to have to come back to you one day. I get so many chills like saying that because I'm seeing that in real time today.
That's crazy.
The same teachers in elementary school that said I'll be in jail. Same teachers, the same peers that called me names and made me feel like I wasn't worth it. in my inbox. You did it. The same guys that I hung out with who are in jail doing like Fed time, one of them, it was about a year ago, he told me that he's so proud of me. He called me. I don't know how he got my number. But he called me. He was like, I wish I had someone like your grandmother to steer me so I wouldn't be sitting in this chair where I'm at right now. All of the ones that did that are now flocking to me. I'm so proud of you. What?
Yeah.
You're so proud of me now. Yeah. But, luckily I'm in a place of my life where I'm open to full forgiveness. And a lot of people say forgive or forget. I forgive, but I don't think God wants us to be fools and forget what a person has done.
Absolutely, bro.
In essence,
that pains it the most sometimes.
Just going back, we buddies. Yeah. No, it's a boundary right there. I
forgive you.
I can be cordial with you. I'm gonna respect you.
But I remember
that. Yeah.
I tell you, but like Rod say, I remember.
Yep.
Ain't never going nowhere, man.
Yep.
So as we get ready to wrap up, man, one thing I like to do before we end the podcast is always ask the co-host to give some words of wisdom to somebody that either is in your position or will be in your position in the future. So you can look at your personal camera and give some.
I would just say this. Thank you for the time that I've spent on your show.
Thank you. First of all, let me say that now too. Man, oh my gosh, we rescheduled so many times.
Yeah, our schedules are so hectic all over the place.
Thank you.
Right place at right time.
Truly, I am appreciative for you to come on this platform and still be willing to come, bro. Like it means a lot, bro. I truly am grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just had to give you your flowers on screen, bro. Absolutely.
You're welcome. But one thing I will leave with you all is to. And I want to say something to the adults, and then I'll get to everybody else. But you don't know that same kid that you looked down upon, the same kid that you said would be in jail, the same kid that you said would accomplish anything, and you put other kids higher than them, looking down on the ones you don't even know what's going on at home. Those are the ones that become the greatest people. Those are going to be your physicians. Those are going to be maybe your boss one day. And you have to be mindful of what you do for children. Now, for everybody else, I would just say take that analogy that I recently told our great dude right here and about the seed in the ground, and know that you are a seed in the ground. And no matter how you're feeling, it's all pain and purpose. And to keep moving forward, no matter what someone has said of what someone has done to you, and know your worth fully. You are worth it. Everything that God made has a crack in it.
Literally.
Literally. And so there is no perfection, and you have to realize your worth. Not trying to equate to what someone got on social media, because you don't even know how they got it. They might have scammed to get it.
I'm dead.
But just do you and live in your full truth and know who you are. And that's all I got to say. And I appreciate you for having me on.
I appreciate you too, brother. Hey, man, just like that, we are done with another Fueled by Pain podcast, man. I'm gonna start saying Fueled by Pain worldwide, baby, because I gotta start putting it to the action, man.
It's coming,
for real, man. As always, I love y'all. Until next time, we out.